Joining us now is Enza, and we're going to be talking about personal injury law, especially trips, falls, and things like that. Things falling on your head. I don't know, but Enza's here to tell us all about it. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you. I'm fine. Thank you. And it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, so nice to have you here. I was sharing with you before we started rolling that my friend years ago fell at the train station and had to have a rod put in her leg.
Oh, okay. So
people fall. People get hurt.
Especially now with winter coming, icy conditions, even during summertime when there's holes or potholes or cracks in the sidewalk, people do fall. Now you brought up the train station, that brings up a different type of scenario, because when you're dealing with municipalities, and a train station would be such a situation, it's very important to contact an attorney early, because there are certain claims procedures that need to be put in place.
Time is of the essence.
Time is of the essence. And what's also critically important, a lot of times I'll get a phone call from someone who had a slip and fall accident, and when the question is posed, where did you fall? And it has to be precisely indicated on what's called a notice of claim that goes to a municipality to put them on notice. If it's not well documented, with proximity to a sidewalk, a curb, a landmark, or something that would put the municipality on notice of exactly where the fall happened, then it could be deemed defective, and that's problematic.
Okay, so if you're with someone, just grab that cell phone and take as many pictures. Oh, it was 5 inches from here, it was 4 inches from there.
See, very good.
I could work with you. I could be your super sleuth.
You can be my super sleuth, yes. Yes, that really is very important. And I know when people have an accident, if they're by themselves, it's extremely traumatic, and they're not thinking, wow, I better get this documented. But yeah, it is very important.
It's at the grocery store. I walked out, I was fine, but there was a lady that had fallen right into the street. Her head was bleeding, sadly, and we're all like, and we were afraid she was gonna go into shock. So I opened up my trunk. I always have stuff in my car because of what I do for a living, right? There's always like a prop box, there's extra clothes, shoes, whatever, right? I'm grabbing out tablecloths and stuff and just putting them near her, not moving her, because you don't wanna re-injure someone in case they have a head trauma or something like that, but it was scary. So I went into the grocery store and I'm like, is anybody calling 911? I'm like, there's someone that, so I think that's the thing too. It's like, if you have somebody take pictures, somebody call emergency medical help right away.
Oh, absolutely.
So
absolutely.
A lot of times people do fall and slip, but sometimes it's not that person's fault. It goes beyond being clumsy. It goes to somebody
of course. Right. There are defects all over. Like I said, cracked sidewalks, potholes, obstructions. I had a client who fell over a flower pot. He was an elderly man that was out for decorative reasons in front of a restaurant. Things like that can cause somebody to fall. That makes it so that there is liability there. And again, if that does happen, and you are with somebody, that person can help you in taking photographs, documenting. The same thing with a car accident. If you get involved in a car accident, people don't always think, I really should get pictures of the other car's damage, because I can always get my own car. But at the scene of an accident like that, it's very traumatic. People aren't thinking logically as to what to do.
Document everything.
Yes.
Because after the sun goes down, the tapes that are stuck on stores and stuff might not have that footage anymore, and so.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. Now, what made you decide to go into this type of law? Wow. What was your why?
Okay, so I was born in Queens. My grandparents were Italian immigrants. My grandfather came here with very little, very young. Married my grandmother, was even younger. And he worked hard, but it was all manual labor. And he bought a 2-family house in Ozone Park. And he was always very proud to be American. But my uncle, the youngest of my mother's family, became an attorney, and he lived downstairs from us. So I would see him come in and out with his law books, and go into his room, and somehow he was able to study with music. And watching him become an attorney, and now, if I have any questions, he's, quite a bit older, but the smartest attorney I know, and I could say
And you're
that
inspired by that.
I was absolutely,
Wow.
and I had so much respect for him and for what he did, and I think that was my, it felt like that was my goal. That was my goal, and it became not just what I do, but who I am.
And you're good at helping people. And I think that every profession, that's one of the reasons that we have butcher bakers and candlestick makers on the show, is that I love to find out somebody's why. So there could be somebody at home that watches this and they'll be like, oh, well, if she can do it, I can do it. I'm going to grow up and be an attorney, right?
Oh, absolutely.
So that's part of the whole process of the show. So we hope that nobody slips and falls or gets hurt or needs your advice. But if they do, it's nice to know that you're there.
Yeah, and we're certainly, there during working hours. We're there to accommodate even after working hours. And my staff is wonderful, very caring and very responsive to people's needs. So, we are the law firm with a personal touch.
I love that. In fact, you brought somebody here that's in the studio audience. Who's here with you today?
That's my paralegal, who is about 5 months pregnant.
And
Alyssa?
Alexis. Alexis.
And she's absolutely amazing.
Hi, Alexis. So come back after your maternity leave, because obviously Enza cares about you and wants to keep working with you. But that's
fantastic.
how we feel about our team too. So I thank you very, very much for joining
thank you.
us.
It was
Happiness
such
to
a
you.
pleasure.
It was nice
Really
to,
such
nice to
a
be
pleasure
here with
to be
you.
here.
And since you're from my same hometown, maybe we'll have coffee together.
That sounds wonderful.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Stay tuned for more. We hope that you don't fall, trip, slip, or anything. But if you do, if you're by yourself, make sure that somebody is there to help you document it, because time is of the essence, and we hope that you will be well. Thanks.